greatest student week ever in the history of the University of the Gambia. Mr. President, Mr. Nyalinga, I salute you and your entire team. Madam, the mother of the students, because I've been reliably informed that you are the mother of the students, and wherever you are, there is happiness. We commend you, we welcome you, we thank you for the service you are doing. Our hosts from Tendaba, by protocol, I have to acknowledge them. I don't know, so I'm very proud Badibunga. I don't like to say good things about the people of Kian, but I think Tendaba is beautiful, and Tendaba is a gem in our ecotourism firmament. We want to thank you for being good hosts to these future presidents and ministers and doctors and nurses and teachers of this beautiful country. I want to specifically recognize, thank and commend our brother, our uncle, our fellow citizen, Professor Sal from Senegal, but who I understand is Gambian. I welcome you, I salute you, I commend you for your consistent support given to these beautiful students, the future leaders of the country. To my fellow students, because I was a student like you a couple of years back, and at that time somebody told me you would come and address these students as special advisor to the president, I'll say maybe you were dreaming. But it's good to dream, and dreams do come true, even in here. Dreams do come true. I bring you greetings from your Chancellor. People call him His Excellency. I call him His Peacefulness. Africa's most peaceful president, leading the continent's happiest nation, the smiling coast of Africa. I bring you greetings from President Barrow, who has asked me to convey his solidarity, his support, and to let you know that he may not be here in person, but you have him here in spirit. And as the days of the student week go on, you will know that President Barrow is with you here in spirit. In classic Christian tradition, I commence with the words of the Holy Bible. This is a day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. I want to hear you, amen. And indeed, it is a great day, for it coincides with the Independence Day of the greatest country on earth, the United States of America, a country that opens its journey into nation building with the timeless words of the legendary Thomas Jefferson, who famously wrote in the Declaration of Independence, and I quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness," the words of Thomas Jefferson. Ours may be a smaller country in size, but the tasks are similar. For we are also a former colony of Great Britain, a small nation. When we started this journey under our founding father, Sabally Jawara, some people call it the birth of an improbable nation. Don't take the nation state and the thriving nature of this country, please don't ever take it for granted. For others thought, including some leading Gambians at the time, thought it was not possible for the Gambia to exist as a nation state. So to the founding fathers, we say kudos and may Allah reward you for your sacrifice. It is a nation that crawled and walked under the wise leadership of Sabally Jawara. Started to run under former President Jammeh, despite some of the most trying circumstances, and now we are flying in our new Gambia, well equipped with the most important lab for any production and experiment, our very own University of the Gambia, the greatest asset that this country has been blessed with. I stand here truly glad and proud of all of you. I commend the leadership of your Students' Union for a fitting and brilliant theme that is inspiring to anybody who cares about this country. I commend all of you further for recognizing the obvious links between your theme and the broader National Development Blueprint, the NDP. Your theme fits perfectly well within the framework of our recovery-focused national development plan, with all the key issues highlighted in your theme well anchored within the framework of our national development plan. The government of the Gambia, under the leadership of President Adama Barrow, who doubles as a chancellor, is proud to be associated with young, dynamic, and visionary youths like you who have decided to take ownership of our development process. Indeed, your theme, the connection between the theme of the 2024 UTG Students Week and the National Development Plan is quite an interesting anchor for my deliberation today. For yours is, and I repeat, UTG in the front line, combating climate change, drug abuse, irregular migration, while promoting peace, good governance, and entrepreneurship for a thriving Gambia. This is indeed quite commendable, because you didn't say you are at the backyard. You are at where? The front line, taking charge of your destiny, and that is the only way that we can build and sustain this country called the Smiling Coast of Africa. Your Lady Bob Marley said some very beautiful lines, that most people think that great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make everybody feel high, but that's a lie. If you know what life is worth, you will look for yourselves, and now you see the light. What do? You stand up for your rights. But with the rights come the responsibilities. And I am glad that you've taken responsibility of the challenges that we are facing in this country. And the challenges you've highlighted, from environmental issues to drug abuse to migration, they are all captured within the 7 pillars of our recovery-focused national development plan. Our plan, which is named the Jiriwa, spanning 2023 to 2027, aims to consolidate gains in democratic governance, to accelerate green economic and social transformation, and to build resilience to shocks and crises. For your information, for those who do not know, we've had development plans in this country before. Who knows the name of our first ever development plan? You don't know, because you are too young. We've had the Vision 2020 under President Jammeh, but before that, Professor Sal is nodding because he knows what I'm talking about. There was the Tezito under Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara. This journey is nothing new. Development is a continuum. It is a process, and we have to pass that torch that she was talking about from one leader to another, but most importantly, from one generation to another generation, regardless of political affiliation, religious orientation, or regions. We have to think as Gambians, act as Gambians, and move forward together, because we cannot afford to leave a single person behind. In countries like the United States of America, you go to the National Mall, you see them, they celebrate Jefferson, they celebrate Hamilton, they celebrate John Adams and others. You don't get to see any political colors behind them. And these people were not necessarily in the same parties. And some of them argue, not only verbally, but also physically. But at the end of the day, it's America first. So we need to shift our thinking, and I am happy that standing right here, I know there's UDP here, I know there's NPP, there's TOY, I know there's GDC, but I have not seen any of those colors here. We came together to embrace the vision of the government of the Republic of the Gambia, the National Development Plan, and I am happy and glad to speak here that when this plan was launched at State House, Hussein Odabo, Adama Barrow, and all of these other players were in the same government as a coalition government. And I remember when the lawyer Dabo was relieved of his position, He spoke to his National Assembly members that in the Assembly, the development process should take center state, should take precedent. The National Development Plan should be supported. And I believe that Lawyer Dabo still stands by those statements. I believe that Honorable Halifa Saleh and Celia Jatta may not be in the government, but their wish and prayer is the success of the National Development Plan. I know that Honorable Mama Kande, who is one of our biggest critics, his prayer, his wish is for the success of the National Development Plan. So you are on the right track. Keep your eyes on your toes, remain focused, and push this agenda for success, for peace, for prosperity, and above all, for the happiness of every citizen in Gambia. We have challenges, and we are not denying our challenges. And I was happy that President Barrow, in his State of the Nation address, did own up to the challenges we have in our land tenure system, in crime rates, in the cost of living. But he promised that we are going to work together to solve those problems. And I know with you students, in your own words, in the front line, taking the lead, with your ingenuity and resourcefulness, your brains is the greatest asset that any country has ever had. We will find creative solutions to all these problems, all these challenges outlined in your theme. And I can assure you of President Barrow's support, the government of the Gambia's support, and all the peace-loving, development-oriented people of the Republic of the Gambia. I want to conclude by quoting from President Barrow's State of the Nation address, where he said, and I quote, "There is no turning back and no slowing down for us in our development trajectory. We are development-oriented and consciously guided by the plight, the needs, and the aspirations of the Gambian citizens from whom we derive our legitimacy." And I underline the word legitimacy, because we voted into office to serve the people. I did mention in a TV analysis of the SONA that there was a time, and there still is in Africa, a thinking that if you have to develop rapidly, you have to forego your human rights, you have to forego press freedom, but this is not ideal. But President Barrow, through his implementation of his development plan, has shown us that we can achieve rapid socio-economic development without necessarily standing and stamping on the rights of Gambians. We are moving forward with this agenda, with this ethos. But I want you to know, you the students of the University of the Gambia, that you are the key pillars of the National Development Plan, and our success and failure depends on you. My sister, the director here, spoke of the leaders that have been created by this University of the Gambia, myself included. The Director General, Commissioner General of GRA, his Deputy SRL, our products of this institution. Our Energy Minister is a product of this institution. Our ambassadors in Morocco, in the United Nations, our representatives in the IDB, in the World Bank, in the IMF. We have produced hundreds of UTG students that are powering the development, not only of the Gambia, but the continent and the world at large. So be there, be peaceful, be patriotic. I want to borrow her words. Be unapologetic. Be unapologetic champions of peace, of patriotism, and above all, be unapologetic champions of happiness. Thank you.